The Inquisitors served the Empire to hunt down the galaxy's Force users and the remnants of the Jedi relentlessly. But who were these dark servants?
And that, gentlemen, is something I cannot have.
The Inquisitors were formed shortly after Palpatine's rise to power. Palpatine, knowing that not all Jedi were killed during Order 66 and the Purge, feared that they would come back to end his reign. For this reason he formed the Inquisitors, who would be trained in the dark side by his apprentice Darth Vader to hunt down Force sensitives and Jedi. Now, the Inquisitors were not Sith. Palpatine had a secret fear of Force users, particularly Sith. For this reason he had Vader limited on how much he trained them to use the Force. This prevented them from becoming full-blown Sith. And as we can guess, an army of young, powerful Sith would be a nightmare for everyone, especially Palpatine. The Inquisitors held a high role in the Imperial hierarchy, and officers below them were expected to obey their every command. However, they were not liked. To most Imperial commanders, the Jedi were long gone, and the Inquisitors' resources would be better spent on the army or navy. It's unclear how many Inquisitors there were active under the Empire, however we assume there were few more than 8. Their training took a great deal of time, and again Palpatine wasn't keen on the idea of having lots of Force sensitives running around. Upon sighting a Jedi, the closest Imperial garrison would contact the Inquisitors, who would come to find and kill the Jedi, after extracting any information they had on the locations of other Jedi using their highly developed and cruel interrogation methods. The Inquisitors also used Imperial academies to discover anyone with Force-sensitive abilities. They would then be taken and put into training to become a servant of the Emperor, or if they resisted, they would be killed, to stop them using their abilities against the Empire. The Inquisitors were also responsible for discovering ancient Jedi sites, such as temples or libraries. They did not want any would-be Jedi Force sensitives learning the knowledge they contained, and the Inquisitors themselves also studied the Jedi's secrets to better understand their enemies. The most dangerous of these hunters was the Grand Inquisitor. He was in charge of all the Inquisitors and was not simply a Force sensitive raised to hunt and kill Jedi. The Grand Inquisitor is actually a fallen Jedi, a temple guard. However, he was involved in the wrongful arrest of Ahsoka Tano during the Clone Wars and saw how the Jedi turned their back on her. This led to him losing faith in the Jedi and he became susceptible to the dark side. This led to him becoming under the service of the Empire and hunting famous Jedi, particularly Council member Luminara Unduli, whose body he kept to lure further Jedi into his trap. The Inquisitors pursued the renegade Force sensitives and Jedi wherever they hid, and how many of their missions were successful is difficult to comprehend. However, after a skirmish on Malachor where 3 Inquisitors died at the hands of rogue Sith Maul and the Lothal rebels, as well as the death of the Grand Inquisitor above Mustafar, it became apparent that the Inquisitors' quick training and overzealous nature made them unable to hunt and kill the experienced Force sensitives. For this reason, the Empire focused on larger projects, and by the time the first Death Star was completed, the Inquisitors were all but extinct, and Vader was believed to be the last true user of the dark side.